So right now, so many people are in survival mode, wrestling with getting customers who buy too little for too little money, and also ensuring that they can deliver. So maybe you are feeling very exposed right now because your customer base is simply too small. Now, the biggest things to focus on right now in this sense are visibility and closing sales, and that's it. So you need to be thinking about what you can sell now, in 3 months' time, and at the end of August. So you need to either expand your customer base and or sell more to your existing customers. And you need to make sure that you are seen so that once we can have face-to-face meetings again, you can then get going. And the thing is that you're going to be there, released tiger, together with all the other released tigers. So you need to make sure that you are positioned and ready to go when this is over. And so use this time to get processes in place so that you don't have to rely on face-to-face meetings for much of the sales process going forward, because it's just not necessary. It's not just about reverting back to how things were before. So please do not stop investing in visibility and in closing sales. Now, many of you have not invested in visibility before. Perhaps you are an inverted company, but look, navel gazing will not secure stability now or position yourself for closing even more sales and securing jobs next. You must think that you are in charge of the story, and people increasingly want to work with a good company. Greedy conglomerates are really on a dangerous path. So building your community and giving back to your customers is really part of great visibility and part of a great communication strategy that is long term. The products and services that you are launching now must be at the front line for when sales can close. For example, when your customers are in a clinical trial, that is when they need things. So you need to be better at tracking that. When your customers are in a turnaround, that's when they need someone. So you need to be tracking that. You need to know what they're dealing with. And that's what relevant visibility is. When you have a process for relevant visibility, you are far better positioned for your customers to come to you immediately because you are already there, anticipating their needs. You need to be omnipresent to their eyes. You need to be on their screen consistently, giving value. And right now you have a captive audience because they're all at home. So what are you waiting for? You can be visible with existing content, with what you are doing right now. And I guarantee you have a wealth of material right now to be visible in a simple way that will give you massive gains and recession-proof you, both you personally and your company. Now, one thing the virus has gotten us to do that no one person has gotten us to do is change. When something is lethal, they change. Change is needed to survive. Now, my clients come to me when they see they need help to survive, when they can't go any further on their own. But change always comes with resistance. Resistance is actually self-sabotage, and it shows both in themselves and in their team. Now, my clients come to me when they need help to push and pull through their resistance. Now, if there's something you are resisting, you have to do it more. Because resistance causes inertia, and inertia will make nothing happen. Inertia is not needed now. Inertia will kill you. So if you are resisting or avoiding something, you need to expose yourself to it in the same way you get over fear of spiders, or in the fear of testing digital tools, or asking for promotion, or asking for more equity. So you need to expose yourself to the tiniest little bit of it, see what happens, see how it makes you feel, see what the results are. And then you do it again, and then you add one tiny little thing, you see what happens, how it makes you feel. And what you're looking for is what that tiny bit of action produces. So I read an article a little while ago called "When You Don't Know What to Write, Just Start Writing." And it's about how action produces secondary action. So do take a look out for that. Before we dive into things you can do right now, let's talk about where this resistance is coming from. Overcoming resistance to do tasks and things that aren't fun will be nearly impossible if you don't stay clear about why you need to do them. If you're not keeping your vision in front of you constantly, there's a very good chance that you're also unfocused, overwhelmed, and bouncing between things that really don't matter. Your energy is diffused. You are resisting. So when you are resisting something, take a step back and think, why should you be doing that? Your why is so important to overcome resistance. So what are some things you might be resisting in marketing and sales? Now, in Expert Profit Engine world, there are two big stages in your marketing and sales process. So we'll focus here: visibility and sales. Now, when it comes to visibility, resistance is often felt when producing content. And the antidote to this is to grab a piece of paper and write down one thing you did in the last 90 days, say, at work that got you a thank you. And if you can, show that to a child. Now, do they say, wow, cool? But I bet they don't say, nah, because what you did is you produced emotion. And when you evoke that, praise yourself and allow yourself to feel that adrenaline because you did that. Now, when creating content, perfect must leave your attitude. You don't need to write the next great novel. The smartest people write their ideas so that they are easily understood and get them out there. Now start with something simple like a status update where you share someone else's article and write some framing text to benefit your audience. It really is that easy. And over time, know that a post should not take you more than 15 minutes to write. If you're taking longer than that, there are ways around that. Now, when it comes to sales, often resistance is felt when picking up the phone to call a prospect. So repeat to yourself over and over, I am capable. I personally find that really useful. The antidote here is just to do it, even if you're in the middle of fear, especially when you're in the middle of fear. All you need is 20 seconds of courage to push through the resistance that you are feeling. So you need to ask yourself, what is the worst thing that will happen? Will I die if I do this? Remember, what you focus on expands. What you appreciate, appreciates. What do you want more of? So appreciate things in that space. You will always have high days and low days, especially now, because success is not linear. And now when you have low days, stick to your daily routine. Really, really important because that keeps your energy moving. When your daily routine is set up for success over time, you can't lose by falling back on it. And what you are learning in this moment, this is the dip. You are stretching and working to make something better. This is what separates those who win and those who don't. There is not a magic answer here because you are carving your own path. But what we do know is that when you're curious, when you're open to feedback, that's when the gold happens. So when you feel resistance, you need to move your stuck and frustrated energy to a place where you are interested. So when you resist something, the answer is not to throw out everything and start again, because we've had people who want to discard a whole positioning and pipeline when all they needed was a tweak on their sales call. The answer is micro tweaks, not huge shifts, especially now. And every single failure you make with your market is actually another thing that separates you and your competitors. It's wisdom that you earn. So remember to keep your eyes on your long-term vision, your long-term mission, and the how will always shift and evolve. Now, the more you can detach yourself from your expectations and embrace the long-term vision of why you are doing what you're doing, stay in curiosity, the more peace, the more joy it will bring to your psyche. It will reduce your resistance and you will just do things. A quick idea. Tomorrow morning, make a list of the things you should do. Tomorrow, end of day, look at your shoulds and see what you resisted doing. They will scream out at you. And the next day, look at your shoulds again. Sit quietly and think about your big vision. Get that picture clear in your mind. And now go back to your shoulds and delete the ones that are not aligned with your vision. Now, pick just one of your shoulds that are left from that. What is the absolute easiest, tiniest thing you can do to move that forward? And do that the following morning. Set your timer for 15 minutes and do it before 11 a.m. And that's it. More information plus some actionable tips and fantastic free resources await you at maryrosehoya.com. And do let me know your questions.